Part 2. Relentless Foe, Desperate Alliance. Beyond the fringes of the galaxy, a formidable force was gathering, its intentions as dark as the empty spaces between the stars. The Krell, an alien race driven by conquest and a thirst for dominion, had set their sights on the scattered human colonies that dared to stake their claim in the vastness of space. Their vessels, sleek and menacing, converged from multiple vectors, an armada of destruction, led by a calculating and ruthless commander. Admiral Tarvik, a veteran of countless campaigns, had but one objective: to wipe out any trace of human existence from the celestial canvas. As the Krell fleet advanced, their path was marked by devastation. They swooped upon unsuspecting colonies, unleashing a torrent of firepower that left little but smoking ruins in their wake. Their technology was superior, their tactics unforgiving, and their desire for conquest absolute. At the forefront of the human defenses stood Captain Marcus Steiner, a seasoned warrior who had faced innumerable threats during his long career. He rallied the human fleet, knowing that their inferior numbers and firepower left them with slim odds of victory. "We stand at the precipice," he addressed his fellow captains and commanders. "The Krell show no mercy, and their appetite for our destruction is insatiable. But we will not falter. We will make them pay for every inch of space they dare to claim. The human fleet, a ragtag collection of warships and converted freighters, prepared for the inevitable clash, knowing that their courage and determination would need to compensate for their lack of firepower." Back on Earth, Sarah and Michael, unaware of the impending doom barreling towards the human colonies, delved deeper into the mysteries of the Nova bomb. Their research facility, nestled within a secure complex, buzzed with activity as scientists and engineers pored over every detail of the ancient weapon. "The more we understand the Nova bomb, the more concerned I become," Michael said, his eyes narrowing as he studied the schematic of the weapon's intricate inner workings. Sarah, her face illuminated by the soft glow of the laboratory lights, nodded in agreement. "Its power is unfathomable, capable of obliterating entire planets. The Erusians didn't create this lightly. They faced an enemy so formidable that they were willing to bestow such destructive force upon lesser races." Michael's fingers danced across the holographic display, highlighting the intricate energy matrix at the bomb's core. "This is the key, Sarah. The Erusians harnessed an energy source unlike anything we've encountered. It's what gives the bomb its unrivaled destructive capacity." Sarah's brow furrowed as she considered the implications. "And yet, with great power, there must also be great responsibility. We can't simply hand this over to the military without understanding the full scope of its potential consequences." Michael shared her concern. "Agreed. The Orosarians wanted to ensure that the recipient of this weapon was worthy. They implanted safeguards, tests of morality and resolve, that must be passed before the bomb can be fully activated. Safeguards that we, as humans, might struggle to overcome," Sarah added, her voice laced with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. "It's almost as if they were challenging us, testing our worthiness to wield such power." Little did they know that their concerns would soon be overshadowed by a dire reality, a stark choice forced upon them by the relentless advance of the Krell war machine. As the Krell fleet bore down on the human colonies, the situation grew increasingly dire. The human defenders, valiantly fighting against overwhelming odds, were being pushed back to the very edges of inhabited space. Captain Steiner, aboard his flagship, coordinated the defenses, knowing that a single misstep could spell doom for humanity. "Incoming transmission from the Krell, sir," one of Steiner's officers reported, his voice tight with anxiety. Steiner's jaw clenched as he braced himself for the enemy's taunts. On the main view screen, the visage of Admiral Tarvik appeared, his alien features contorted in a grimace of disdain. "Humans," Tarvik's translated voice hissed. "Your pointless resistance ends here. Surrender your colonies, and your deaths will be swift. Otherwise, prepare to be annihilated." Steiner's eyes blazed with defiance. "We will never yield, and we will make you pay for every light year you've dared to invade." "Our fight isn't over until the last of us still draws breath." Tarvik's alien eyes narrowed, his reptilian face devoid of compassion. "Then so be it. Your legacy will be one of ashes and ruin." The Krell show no mercy. The transmission ended, and Steiner turned to his officers, his expression grim. "We need a miracle, or the human presence in this sector will be nothing but a distant memory. Unbeknownst to the desperate defenders, events were unfolding on Earth that would shape the course of their battle and the destiny of their species. Sarah and Michael, their research accelerated by the looming threat, had managed to crack one of the Nova bomb's critical safeguards. It was a test of moral ambiguity, one that challenged the very foundations of their species' beliefs and values. "I think I've done it," Sarah said, her voice laced with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. "I've reconfigured the bomb's ethical matrix to align with our understanding of right and wrong. It recognizes us as worthy custodians of its power." Michael's eyes widened as the implications sank in. "This changes everything. We can now fully arm the Nova bomb and unleash its power against the Krell." But even as they spoke, the Krell fleet pressed onward, their attack reaching ever closer to Earth itself. The fierce battles being waged across the stars left a trail of destruction, and the human fleet, valiant though they were, was being relentlessly pushed back. Captain Steiner, aboard his battered flagship, watched the tactical display with a sense of mounting despair. "We're running out of options, people. The Krell have superior numbers and firepower. We need an advantage, something that will turn the tide." Then a transmission came through, encrypted and bearing the mark of Earth's research facility. It was Sarah, her face etched with urgency. "Captain Steiner, we've made a breakthrough with the ancient weapon. It's fully operational and ready for deployment." Steiner's eyes widened, a spark of hope igniting in his chest. "Dr. Jensen, are you sure? This could be our last chance to turn the tide." "Positive, Captain. But we must act quickly. The Krell are pressing inward, and the window of opportunity is narrowing." Steiner turned to his officers, his expression resolute. "Relay the coordinates to the Nova bomb's deployment site. We'll strike at the heart of the Krell fleet and pray that this ancient weapon is everything we hope it to be." The plan was daring, risky, and born of desperation. But with the human colonies teetering on the brink, it was their only hope. The Krell, sensing victory within their grasp, showed no mercy. They swept through the outer defenses of Earth's system, their cruisers and destroyers unleashing a torrent of firepower. The human fleet, outnumbered and outgunned, fought with tenacity, but their losses mounted with each engagement. Then the Nova bomb arrived. A majestic vessel, converted expressly for this mission, carried the ancient weapon through hyperspace, escorted by a handful of human warships. The human defenders, their eyes gleaming with a mixture of hope and fear, watched as the imposing vessel took up a strategic position near the heart of the Krell fleet. "All hands, brace for impact." Captain Steiner ordered as the weapon ship initiated the Nova bomb's activation sequence. At first, nothing seemed to happen. The Krell vessels continued their relentless assault, their weapons strafing the human ships. And then the stars themselves seemed to weep. A blinding flash ripped through the darkness, a searing beam of light that bathed the Krell fleet in an unbearable radiance. The alien vessels, caught in the beam's path, disintegrated, their shields powerless against the onslaught of pure energy. The human defenders, their eyes shielded, watched in awe and disbelief as the Krell fleet was decimated in an instant. The Nova bomb, unleashed in all its fury, radiated an aura of unimaginable power, a force beyond anything the galaxy had witnessed. Then, As quickly as it had begun, the beam faded, leaving behind a haunting silence and the smoldering remnants of the Krell armada. Amidst the shocked silence, Captain Steiner's voice crackled over the communications array. "Report. What just happened?" Sarah's voice, taut with a mixture of relief and disbelief, replied, "The Nova bomb, Captain. We've wiped out the Krell fleet." Steiner, his face etched with disbelief, stared at the tactical display, now devoid of hostile contacts. "Confirmed. The Krell have been annihilated. The human defenders, their vessels scarred and battered, looked on in awe as the full scope of their victory sank in. They had faced seemingly insurmountable odds, and yet they had prevailed, thanks to the power of the ancient weapon. But even in the aftermath of triumph, a sense of trepidation crept into their hearts. They had just witnessed the raw, unbridled force of the Nova bomb, and they knew that its very existence had upset the cosmic balance of power. As the smoke cleared and the reality of their victory settled in, the leaders of the human colonies gathered to discuss the implications of their newfound power. "We've proven that humanity is a force to be reckoned with," one of the colonial governors declared, his voice carrying a mixture of pride and concern. Another governor, her expression grave, added, "Yes, but at what cost? The Nova bomb's power is unimaginable, and its very existence now makes us a target. What if it falls into the wrong hands?" Steiner, his face bearing the weight of their shared burden, nodded. "We've shown that humans will rise to any challenge, even against overwhelming odds. But we must also recognize the responsibility that now rests upon us." Sarah and Michael, their place among the colonial leaders secured by their critical role in activating the Nova bomb, listened intently to the discussion, their eyes carrying the weight of their secrets. Finally, Michael spoke, his voice steady. "The Erusians left behind more than just a weapon. They left a challenge, a testament to our growth as a species. We must now decide how this power will be wielded and guarded." "A galactic council," Sarah suggested, her eyes alight with determination. "Representative of all human colonies tasked with overseeing the use and protection of the Nova bomb. We can no longer act as isolated factions. Our survival, now more than ever, depends on unity." The room fell silent as the colonial leaders considered the proposal. The idea of a unified galactic council, a first in human history, sent ripples of possibility through their minds. Steiner nodded slowly, his eyes reflecting the weight of their collective decision. "Then let it be so. We forge a new path, united, with the knowledge that our strength lies in our unity, and so, the Nova bomb, an ancient weapon of unimaginable power, became the catalyst for a new era of human cooperation and resolve. The weapon that had saved them now also compelled them to lay aside their differences and forge a future where their survival depended on shared responsibility." But even as they celebrated their triumph over the Krell and their newfound unity, dark forces elsewhere in the galaxy were taking note. The use of the Nova bomb had not gone unnoticed, and ambition, greed, and fear were stirring in the hearts of others who now coveted the ultimate power that humans had unleashed. The story of the Nova bomb and the destiny of those who wielded it was far from over. End of part 2, to be continued.